a retired veteran opened a $5 all-you-can-eat diner in a small town. He was kind and hardworking, often covering costs out of his own pocket. If a customer had no money, he'd offer free meals or let them pay later. One day an older couple knelt before him. Their son was getting married. They had just enough for a house and dowry, but couldn't afford the wedding banquet. They begged the man to help with the meal, and promised to repay him once they received the wedding gifts. The man agreed out of kindness. He worked tirelessly and even paid for it himself. After the banquet, the couple thanked him repeatedly, but said the money had gone to the daughter-in-law as a tradition. They promised to repay him once they sold a pig. With no choice, the man had them sign an IOU. Over the years, he had collected dozens of IOUs, worth hundreds of thousands, but the villagers felt entitled to the help. Even those who had money had no intention of paying him back. Just then, a wealthy businessman noticed the man's cooking skills, and offered him a high-paying job at a five-star hotel. But the man knew the businessman cut corners, using low-quality ingredients and pre-made meals. He'd rather stick to his $5 diner than compromise his integrity. The businessman sneered, saying customers would never remember his kindness. But the man didn't care. Misfortune struck soon after. While picking up his daughter from school, he saw her collapse on the ground. The doctor diagnosed her with spinal muscular atrophy, caused by long-term malnutrition. Initial treatment would cost at least $200,000. His ex-wife rushed over and exploded in anger, blaming him for being useless, and regretting not fighting for custody, saying their daughter had suffered because of him. But the sensible girl defended her father, saying she saved her lunch money to buy uniforms and pay school fees, because she saw how hard he worked. The ex-wife cried, and furiously shouted the man didn't deserve such a thoughtful daughter. The man was filled with guilt. He held his daughter's hand, and swore to save her no matter what. His ex-wife didn't believe he could come up with the money, so the man began going door to door to collect debts. He first visited the couple from last month's wedding banquet, but they played dumb, asking if he was there to give more gifts. He gently said his daughter was sick, and he still hadn't raised enough for treatment. Before he could even mention repayment, the man mocked him, saying it was shameful for a grown man to beg the elderly for money. The man couldn't take it, and showed them the IOU, but the woman pretended not to remember, and the old man cursed him, as if he were the one who owed them. Furious, the man cursed back, saying they could keep the money and burn it with the dead. Enraged, the couple screamed at him and kicked him out. He then visited another debtor, a gambler whose father's funeral he had once catered. He pulled out the IOU, saying he was still owed $4,000, but the gambler laughed, saying his father was dead, and if he wanted the money, he could go to the afterlife to collect it. Dealing with such shamelessness, the man could only swallow his anger. Through this journey, he witnessed every kind of excuse and lie. Then one day, the health department showed up to investigate. An inspector flashed his ID. Someone had reported him for operating illegally. The same woman from before falsely claimed he used gutter oil and toxic meat, saying he had made the villagers sick. The man was taken away on the spot. A court hearing was held shortly after. The man firmly defended himself, saying he only used fresh ingredients, but all he had to show were stacks of IOUs. The inspector asked why the villagers hadn't paid him back. The gambler claimed his food always tasted spoiled. Another villager said the food was just rotten leaves and low-grade meat, not even worth $5. They were already being generous